Can you make a tutorial on how to set up KPI imports?
It's not a setting or anything. It's a service. Unfortunately, it's a paid service that is hooked up to large data centers on IBP4. I mean, it's proprietary essentially.
Well, there is Tier 11 Data Suite.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We wouldn't be able to show you how Tier 11 Data Suite's built, but yeah.
My main challenge is getting clients to move beyond ROAS in the platform and instead focus on broader KPIs such as incremental sales, NCAC, net profit, and net margin. And then the secondary, it's e-com. What's the best strategy to optimize budget allocation between Google and Meta to maximize results? Or should this be tested and evaluated? I guess this is really two questions here. So
yeah, well, this right here, it's exactly my main challenge is getting clients to move past me on ROAS. I just shared an example of the client hopping in 3 days later and saying nope and killing it because of ROAS or CPA. And
hold your ground, I guess, is the or get them to watch this channel. Yeah, seriously. If you want to meddle and take time into like spending in my ad account, go watch this video. Like this is going to be up live. It's going to get thousands of views. So why not?
Exactly. My suggestion is show how it's correlated to their business growth.
Yeah.
Now, if you show the correlation, it's also bad, then okay. But theoretically, if you're following the channel and following what we're showing, it should get better. But unfortunately, that's your job as the strategist. You have to show how you're growing their company.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Download the MPI checklist, by the way. Get that over at tier11.com/MPI. All right. So the other part to John, wait a second. Did I not show it? Ecom, what's the best strategy to optimize budget allocation between Google and Meta to maximize results? And how should this be tested and evaluated?
It's MMM modeling. Unfortunately. So what you're seeing us do here is basically MMM modeling, which is I'm looking at spend benchmarked in platform metrics to see if they go up or down. And as I increase or decrease spend, and I look at what those benchmarks are doing, if they're moving in the right or wrong direction, then I see how is that actually affecting the business in a better or worse sense. So we're basically just looking at the metrics and saying, okay, if I spent more and the metrics look like they held, did things get better? Or it looks like it did worse, did things get better? It looks like it got better, did things get worse? You're trying to find the reasons why Google and Meta are saying that things are good, and you're trying to say, I don't believe you, let me prove it. And if you can find out that it is true, perfect. And if you find out that it's wrong, that's what you're looking at, is you're explaining the differences. So a certain point in time of attribution does not mean that is how the entire business is doing in terms of health. So that's just what you have to understand is, ACPA is one channel, one time on one user and one path. That is not total business growth. Just understand the differences between those.
It's not correlative. It's related, but it's not correlative. I like
it's a building block.
It's a building block. It's just one metric. Diraj Shetty has this question too. Can you make a tutorial on how to set up KPI imports?
It's not a setting or anything. It's a service. Unfortunately, it's a paid service that is hooked up to large data centers on IBP4. I mean, it's like it's proprietary essentially.
Yeah. Well, there is Tier 11 Data Suite.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We wouldn't be able to show you how Tier 11 Data Suite's built, but yeah.
You have to spend $500,000 on it anyway. Right. What we did. Diraj, another question. Do you want to maintain the overall ROAS on long term, and what metrics do you look to make changes in your ads if your performance drops?
Well, it's going to be what the goal is of the client. Like if you say the client hired me to do X, Y, and Z, well, is ROAS the way to measure that? If he's like, hey, I want to grow my business, it's like, okay, does that mean you want one new customer every 10 years? Or do you want like 50 tomorrow? Like, you're going to have different metrics. So the goal dictates what metrics you watch. You don't watch the metrics to try to achieve the goal, I guess I would say. You have to think about a reverse. Like if I need to get to that goal, what metrics are appropriate to that goal? Sales volume, probably more MER and NCAC. But if it's like a flash sale, you could do ROAS, but again, you're looking at ROAS is just MER in platform. So I would say MER, but again, it just depends. Even returning customers, ROAS high on returning customers could be excellent. ROAS high on first-time customers, I would say, are probably misattributed returning customers. So again, it depends upon the goal. Overall ROAS, I want that thing to be flat, maybe sometimes a little lower. If I want to grow new customers, I need ROAS to be down. I need to go colder.
So that's the takeaway here. It's like if you're doing client work here, you need to find out what's your goal. Like, where do you want to be a year from now? Where do you want to be a quarter from now? When we do our quarterly business review, or if it's your business, it's the same sort of thing. Like I'm 5 million right now, I want to get to 10 million next year. Well, that means you need to get X amount of customers, do the math backwards, figure out what works. We've done so many shows on NCAC, figure all of that out. But it starts with the goal. All of these are just metrics to achieve the goal. That's
Exactly.
what marketing basically is. So, John Moran's dog's back with another question. When lowering ROAS to scale, how do you ensure it actually drives incremental traffic and revenue rather than just higher CPCs on existing traffic?
Top line. I mean,
Yeah.
everything that we've shown here. Yep.
There you go. How can we accurately measure the brand impact of upper funnel campaigns like YouTube? Separate from lower funnel performance activity and determine the best way to evaluate their effectiveness. I know you've hinted at this in previous shows, but do you have anything new on this?
One of the best ways is actually going into the Google Search Console, looking at the time period of when you started to today, essentially. And if you're running things like a YouTube sequence campaign, then you're going to see brand lift. If you're running things like YouTube demand gen, you may not really see brand lift because they're going after a convertible audience, not really necessarily people who are trying to find out about you. So YouTube is going to have about 6 different campaigns. Also, you have a demand gen. So you have like bumper ads, you have CTV, you have, there's in feed, there's in platform, or there's in stream, and then there's shorts. So YouTube is going to be, depending upon, again, your goal, you want to choose the proper YouTube campaign, and then to measure it is something that I actually typically like the best. And if it's, let's just say for brand impact, for brand, I mean, you're not trying to get a specific, goal. Like if you're saying have YouTube sell these dirty napkins here, like, okay, how many dirty napkins do we sell? 10. We added $1,000. How many dirty napkins do we sell? Hopefully it's 20. If it's still 10, that 1,000 didn't do anything. So basically, if you're looking at a product or service, I would say the amount of ad spend you're spending to try to achieve a higher amount of that product or that service, if you add in that ad spend, look right back at that product or that service and say, what did we sell more of? It's a very, very simplistic way. If you're like, well, we have 1,000 SKUs, and if you have 1,000 SKUs, you're going to need about $15,000 to $25,000 per day at least to start. If you want to brand lift thousands of SKUs of a company, that's where you go into the Google Search Console and say, are people going to Google and typing in my brand name? And you measure it by impressions, not where they clicked. Clicks can be branded clicks or organic clicks, but the impressions are more people going to Google globally every 2 to 3 months or every quarter and Googling our name. Our impressions of our brand increasing. There's brand lift.
Mm-hmm.